Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Call of the Night episode number 11 reaction. Alright, the previous episode we got to see the story of another one of the vampire characters. Her name is Midori, and we see her part of the story, what she is dealing with and all that stuff. For her, however, unlike Seri, I think that was the name of the other vampire, the one who became who was friends with Akun. Unlike her, where she was actually struggling with something, her problem was not her own problem, but someone else's problem that she tried to she kind of helped solve. Where because Midori was in the maid cafe, she became like the number one. The former number one person kind of felt a little bit what do you call it, a little bit, you could say, mm, I wouldn't call it lonely, but she felt that she wasn't, people who are not looking at her anymore, that kind of a thing. She felt she wanted to self validate herself or something like that, and for doing that she decided to, she herself loves taking selfies and stuff, takes some peeping photos of herself, and kind of uses that to make others feel that, oh, she's relevant enough, that type of a situation. And that was the whole thing, and here we get our detective Ko actually trying to solve that, and he actually solves it by the end of it. And in the end, we see Midori kind of giving her opinion on the whole situation. Her opinion is that everyone in this world, all humans, are sick in their head in some way or the other. So it's no problem for her to do that unless and until she's harming someone. So yeah, and in the end she kind of becomes more confident in herself, and she becomes good friends with Midori. And yeah, it's a nice little nice thing that happened. So yeah, let's see what happens today. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe we'll get another character like that, another vampire character, get their story, and this is how it will go. Or maybe we'll get something else. Let's see. We're almost at the end. I don't know, I think it's like 13 or 12 episodes, I'm not sure how many. I'll check it out after this reaction, how many episodes this has. So depending on that, there's 1 or 2 more episodes left after this. So yeah, without further ado, let us begin. This is episode number 11, so I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Bed. Oh, she got some new stuff. Oh yeah, she's getting more money because she's doing her maid in the maid cafe. Customers. All right. That's that sounds extremely shady, but Oh. Ooh. Oh damn. Well, there you go. There you go. Get your tired person. Why did the colors suddenly become like this? Yeah, it does seem like he's hitting on her extremely. Yeah. What was that? That glimmering. Oh, all right. What? The colors, the scheme suddenly became like a like a monochromatic kind of. That's interesting. This show does this. I've seen this before. The episode with Akira where she was feeling gloomy and all. The beginning, of the episode, we see her the atmosphere and everything was extremely gloomy. The color was kind of fading and everything. But then by the end of it, when she gets her sleep and talks with Ko, in the morning it's completely colorful again. This show does that. So I'm guessing if it's something like that again. Let's see. I wonder what could they try to denote by giving us like a monochromatic yeah, monochromatic, like, you know, like experience. Like when she came in, the whole scene became monochromatic, kind of, you know. So what could they denote by that? Like, oh, that's that girl with the cigarette, the silhouette that we see. All right. Wait, so she'll be like a side character of this show? The color is still kind of dim and dull. Wait, is this voice? Her voice? Miyuki Sawashiro, is this? That sounds extremely shady. Yeah, this is Miyuki Sawashiro, the voice actor. That. Why a person? Oh boy. Which is in the law or something. Oh. Um. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. You need to be more careful with people. Wow. Hmm. Probably something law related, I'm guessing. She talks about like the. What's. Oh, detective. Alright. Wait, what's her name? Ugisu? Wow. Conan Kun, okay. Uh, Missing people, yeah. Damn, she's smoking again. Well, Akihito. Who? Wait, the name's familiar. Oh, Akun. Oh, wait, is he Miss? Oh, no, no. Yeah, she's a private detective. She could probably see that you're lying. Wait, is someone trying to find him? Is he missing? Like, he's like, yes. Okay. Well, Nazuna is extremely old, so I don't think that's a problem here. Uh. Well, he got some money, you know. With that money. Oh boy, what's going on? Okay. Oh wait, he's here. Oh, what's his name? Mahima? Something I forgot. Mahiru, okay. Nope. Everyone's here. Hmm. Oh, this is school. Hmm. At the middle of the night. Okay. Wait, it's 1 p.m. People in the show. Whoa. What? Wait. Oh, is it kind of becoming vampire or something? Yeah. Yeah, and he doesn't have. Yeah. Hmm. Wait, doesn't he spend his time with that lady at night? Why is he here now? Or maybe she has some work or something. Anako. Yes. And the piano, like the automatic playing piano, the stairs, the 13th stair or whatever. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Probably sleeping. Oh my god, that also kind of startled me as well. Like I was not expecting someone actually. Hey, there you go, the piano. What else? The what do you call it? The anatomical model. There you go, the stairs. Anatomical model. There you go. What is this? Oh, I don't know about this one. Food deeper. Reflection. Yeah, this is another one. Oh boy, what's it? Teacher at the school went missing. 10 years. Oh. Oh. Well, hmm. Oh boy, I feel like something's going to happen. Oh boy, I feel like something's going to happen. Someone's waiting there. I feel. Oh, hello there. Who are you? Oh, what? Oh, it is a teacher. Well, time to shut the door and run. Walking like a zombie. What the hell? Is he like a vampire? Oh boy, it's a vampire. Probably one of the kin. Oh no! Probably one of the kindred of someone. Uh, come on. Oh boy, he's kind of, yeah, getting like a shock. Yo, snap out. Come on, snap out. Oh my god, he's in a shock. All right, nice. Okay. He's a vampire, so I feel like that didn't do anything to him. Oh no, wait, is he unconscious? Yeah. Yeah, he's gone berserk. Or maybe it's a ghoul or something. No, but ghouls are dead bodies. Hey, run, run. Yeah, yeah, run. Run, guys! Why are you standing here? Oh my god, the screen, the monochromatic. Boy. Okay, so who is she? She called herself a private detective. It doesn't seem like that now. Oh boy. So this is that teacher that the rumors said. Oh boy. Oh, whoa, what? Wait, is she also a vampire? I don't know. Wait, what? What happened? Oh, whoa. Is there something in her blood that. Wait, he's. Or she was also trying to find him out. Past 10 years. So he was keeping himself, like, restrained. Yeah, and that's why he's gone crazy now. So the vampires who don't drink blood happens, this happens to them? Oh boy. Well, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, he's been struggling for this time. He probably shut himself up in like in some place or something. Oh boy. The teacher, I'm guessing. Is this the teacher? Whoa, what? Wait, what is that? Oh, is that silver? Is he dead? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so yeah, the vampires in here probably cannot be alive in the morning, or maybe people. Oh, yeah. But these like kids came here. Anko. So she knows about vampires. Hmm. What about her blood? What? Oh boy. No, he was going to die either way. No, she let him. She let him die as a human. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh wait, he she knows about his. Oh no, never mind. That was something. Well, like yeah, obviously there's good vampires and there's bad vampires as well. Like not everyone will have good intentions. Oh boy. Hmm. All right. Is there something left, or is that it? That is it. Oh boy. Okay, so first things first, I need to check out her voice act. I'm pretty sure it's Miyuki Sawashiro. Let's check. Anko, wasn't it? Yeah, Anko Ugisu, I think. Yep, Anko Ugisu. Her voice. Yep, I think it is Miyuki Sawashiro. Let's check it. Miyuki Sawashiro. There you go. Yeah, it's correct. All right, so we begin this episode with we begin this episode with Nazuna showing that she has actually gained a lot of, not a lot, but quite a good amount of money after doing, like, the maid job and all that in the maid cafe. And he, like, she kind of upgraded to a good bed and a few, like, like clothings and stuff. She kind of brought a few furnitures and everything she has brought with that money, and she's like, oh, like, money is amazing. Oh my god. And she's like, so yeah, cool, you have a new job now, go and find customers. And Ko goes outside trying to find someone who is, well, like, tired and all, and who looks tired. And he goes to the bridge and finds this one girl, Anko. She is, like, it's a kind of smoking, and, like, and as soon as he comes in her presence, the scene becomes completely monochromatic, and which obviously shows that there's something up with this girl. And like I said, they did this with Akira as well, where they kind of made the whole scene a little bit dull and everything, showing the gloominess inside her heart. But for her, I'm guessing this is not gloominess. They made the scene completely monochromatic. Maybe, I don't know, that maybe kind of like, maybe they're trying to hint that this girl looks at this world as either black or white, good or bad, that kind of a situation. She is that why they kind of made it monochromatic? Because like, as we can see, her opinion about vampires is that, oh, every like vampires are bad, that kind of a thing. So, which is obviously there exists good vampires as well. At the same time, there also exists bad vampires, and there might be other vampires who are neither good nor bad, that kind of a situation. So maybe her like, like the whole scene becoming monochromatic kind of hints at that, her personal opinion about the vampires or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe it's something else. But either way, they make the scene completely monochromatic, and she's just there smoking under the bridge. And obviously goes, like, she's kind of sighing and kind of well, like, kind of looks as if she is very tired. So Ko obviously goes and asks her, like, oh, you look tired, should should we go for, like, like, what did she say? Oh, should we chat for a bit? And I'm like, dude, that's completely, it's as if you're hitting on her. Oh boy. But she's like, yeah, sure, why not? Now, I do wonder why she said sure. Probably because maybe, like, I don't know, it seems she had some kind of an idea about Ko, that he's, maybe no, not like, in the end she kind of says one thing which kind of makes me surprised, where she says, like, oh, stop you, like, stop trying to fulfill your what did she say, worthless dreams or something like that, she said, which I thought, I kind of interpreted it at it in a way where, I don't know, it seemed as if she knew about Cole's dreams, which is becoming a vampire. I might be wrong though, but it wouldn't surprise me if she was actually she had an eye on Ko, and was kind of, keeping an eye out for him. And so that's why, as soon as he just came in and he's like, oh, let's go, should we chat? That's why she's like, yeah, sure, because she wanted to have a conversation with him. Either way, she accepts it, and they go to the cafe. And and yeah, and she's like, and he's like, oh, I'm not trying to hit on you. And she's like, I'm depressed about that. I was excited. And so, okay, now he says like, okay, what I'm here to do is kind of, like bring people back to my place, where like like there's like a cuddle like system or whatever. You can sleep with someone else, but it won't be me, it will be someone else, it will be a girl, so no problem about that. And talks about the whole cuddle buddy system or whatever. And he's like, oh, that's why I'm here. And and she asks him, she's like, oh, you're actually like like this late out, an employer should not employ a person under 18 years of age between 10 p.m. and 5 p.m., labor standards. So yeah, obviously he's 14, so yeah, you're breaking the law here. And she's like, oh, should I call the police or something? And she generally gets like a little bit scared, and she's like, just kidding, just be careful from here, this point onwards. I'm not a person who's just going to call the police because of that. Just be careful, talking to random people like this, they might actually try to do this to you. Gives him a warning. And she also says, I don't make any decisions made based on law, which is interesting, because she's a private detective. So I don't think I ever expected a private detective to say that I don't do stuff according to the law. But also at the same time, she's a private detective, not like a governmental detective, so makes sense. She has her own rules, she has her own ideals, I'm guessing. And yeah, something like that. So okay, now he's like, oh, like, can we also give massage courses? And she's like, oh, that might be good, like, I just keep walking and all that. Makes sense, she's a private detective, so I guess she has to walk a lot. Probably go for like, what do you call it, stakeouts, is that what it's called, where you kind of keep an eye on someone? I think that's called stakeouts, yeah. Like and maybe like following someone, all that stuff she does. And yeah, makes sense, she's tired, her legs are tired, so she's like, yeah, maybe a massage could do something. And he asks, she's like, oh, what do you do? And she tells him, I'm a private detective, obviously, like gives him the card. And obviously Cole is very happy because, oh, private detectives exists. And he's like, oh, what do you do? Like, locked room murder mystery. Like, I feel like this is the everyone's thinking process whenever they hear someone is a detective. They're like, oh, murder mysteries, like like locked room, and what else, like some other like highly like crazy stuff, like like a bomb has been placed somewhere, you have to deduce like like a 1 hour time limit, you have to deduce where the bomb is and just go and like take care of it and all that. But yeah, private detectives usually like like infidelity, what else, following someone, these type of like things, most of them, like like cheating cases, all that, these type of things they usually do. And she's like, I figured Conan could take care of that. If you don't know, Conan means here Detective Conan, Edogawa Conan from Detective Conan. So yeah, that was a reference, another anime reference. And okay, so she's like, now, okay, when did she, okay, she brings up a name here. She says, have you heard of a person called Akihito Akiyama? Now, I was like, wait a minute, where have I heard that name before? Like, it's very familiar. And Ko was also extremely, like, Ko was like, all right, like, what's that name? Like, I've heard that before. And there you go. Brings out the nickname, Akun. And obviously, Akun, in a photo, she shows him. Now, definitely he gets scared because Akun has been related to vampires, with Seri. And that's why he kind of like, got a little bit scared, because he thought that, oh, like, she probably will be, like, she'll probably be able to deduce that, like, something's going on, maybe vampires or something. He got probably a little bit afraid here. Because, yeah. Now, the thing is, I'm guessing he has not gone back. Like, what's he doing? Like, is he like not going, like, obviously he became a vampire, I understand that, but oh boy, I feel like I understand, like, he probably hasn't gone back home or something like that, and people are trying to find him and made like like hired this girl find him out and all that. and after becoming a vampire, more obviously he probably cannot go out in the day. Now this is another thing I don't know, like, and I feel like I'll talk about this, like, like that we see that old man later on, not old man, but that teacher, he vanished in, like, when the sunlight came and got him. So there's a question that kind of pops up in my head. So does, and like, what happens, that means all the vampires cannot go out in the sun? Is that what's going on here, or is it because he has actually restrained from feeding, for 10 years, that he kind of disappeared with that little sun ray? I think that's probably the thing, because she did say like he's extremely weak and he would have died today. So probably the sunlight was the last thing, like, the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin that got him. Maybe normal vampires who feeds doesn't have any problem in sunlight. Maybe they have problem, maybe just they take an umbrella or something, I don't know, something like that they do, try to avoid the sun, but they won't disappear or disintegrate in the sunlight. I think that's probably what happens. They don't like sunlight, obviously they won't like sunlight, but maybe nothing happens. Maybe that guy disappeared because he had not fed for a long time, for 10 years. I don't know, it's just a guess. Now he asks him, do you know about Akun? He kind of like, like, obviously, like, he tries to lie. He kind of says, oh no, I don't know, and his eyes kind of move away, I think. Just a sec. Yeah, as soon as he says I don't know, his eyes were kind of like, moving and all, which obviously shows that he's lying. He's sweating, he's stuttering. So she kind of gets him and looks at him, and then she's like, all right, okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And she gives, like, like some, I think like 5,000 yen or something, gives it, and she's like, oh, keep the change, like, just leaves. And she's like, oh, call me again if you don't mind older women. Now after that, Nazuna is like, wait, so you went to a cafe, just drank coffee, and you came back? That's what you did? And she's mad, obviously. And Ko is like, not to worry, I brought beer for you with that money. And Nazuna's like, yay. now after that, we see, like, Anko kind of like, like, we see her saying something like, what did she say here? Like, she kind of hints that she knows about Ko. She says like, that was a bigger catch than I thought. There you go. So yeah, you should probably realize that Ko has some, kind of some relationship with vampires or something connected to them. All right, the next part, we see Mahiru and Akira, and like, them coming out, and in the middle of the night, obviously, and they are like, Mahiru's like, yeah, like, we usually don't get to hang out nowadays, so let's hang out now, in the middle of the night when everyone's free. So they go to the school, and he's like, all right, let's go in. Now here we kind of see, I don't know, Ko just completely just goes like, kind of, it seems like he became faster, kind of jumps on top of the, like, ray, like, the gate easily. And I'm like, wait a minute, so what's going on here? Is he becoming a vampire or something? I don't know, is that what's going on? Because obviously his physical and like his capabilities have increased, which we can see here. He's not a vampire, I don't think he's a vampire, but maybe he is turning little by little, becoming vampire. Is that how? I don't know, maybe, like, this is a thing, like, if you fall in love with a vampire and the vampire feeds on you, you become a vampire. So what will happen if you don't, like, if you don't fall in love with her, but you're starting to develop feelings? Maybe that's what's happening here. That's why he is not a vampire, but he got, like, like, enhanced physical abilities, because maybe he is starting to have feelings for Nazuna little by little. It's in the process. That's why the power that he has got an increasing power, it's also, like, developing, or in the process of developing, something like that. So, and he's also in the process of becoming a vampire. Maybe that's what's going on, because I think that's the only explanation you have why he suddenly, he has this type of enhanced physical abilities. Like, I don't think he's, like, doing I don't think he's, like, doing physical training or something. I don't think so. So yeah, where did he suddenly get this boost of power from? Probably it is something like that. I don't know. It's just a guess. But either way, they kind of get in, and now they're like, oh, let us do something fun today. Mahiru's like, let us go and find out the 7 mysteries, the urban legends of the school. And like, this is the thing I've seen in not only animes, a lot of visual novels and games and all that as well, where like a lot of schools have like urban legends, or the 7 mysteries of certain school. And it's kind of interesting, like this is like a little very interesting, I don't know, like it's quite an interesting thing that we see in anime and stuff, where the 7 mysteries, like in each school, not each school, but a few schools have like these kind of things, like rumors. For example, the whole Hanako-san, like in the toilet, there's someone, a girl in the toilet, like some, like one of the stalls, I don't know which stall, but yeah, if you kind of they kind of from the inside, they kind of say, oh, let's play or something like that, and if you open it, like she kind of gets you, and something like that happens. I don't know the actual thing, but it's something like that. And there's a few others as well, which I was kind of thinking and I was remembering. And another one was like the stairs one, where there's like one extra stair, which is like the stair for going into another dimension or something, that kind of a thing. There's the anatomical model, which kind of moves around at night, trying to find the missing organs or whatever. There's another one where is the mirror was also there. If you look at the mirror, like it takes you to another dimension or something like that. The automatic playing piano, in the night, that's another one. And there's a few others as well. I've heard another one where there's like in the roof, there's someone who has like a student who probably committed suicide. That person is there ready on the roof, and whenever you go to the edge of the roof, they kind of grab your leg and kind of bring you down. That kind of a urban legend I've also heard. And there's so many urban legends that I used to know, I've forgotten. Like I said, I played a lot of visual novels, and in a lot of visual novels, we, especially horror ones, had these type of urban legends and stuff, and I used to love them. And it's been a while, but so I don't remember most of them, but these are a few of the staple ones. I remember there being a visual novel called, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's a very a visual novel nobody talks about. It's made by the same person who made Higurashi. It's Higanbana, where there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of focus on this urban legends, and there I got to know a lot of urban legends. They were very interesting urban legends as well. Same person who made Higurashi, Ryukishi07, also made a visual novel called Higanbana. It's a great novel. If you play visual novel, you should check it out. But anyways, enough about that. But yeah, all these urban legends, I'm really I'm interested in these type of things. So it's kind of nice to see them bringing that up. So the first one, obviously the most famous one, is definitely Hanako-san. Like everyone knows about it, I feel like. And they try to do that, and go to the girls' toilet. Obviously, Ko and Mahiru were like, oh, we cannot go in, so you go in, or something like that. Yeah, but then they go inside, and okay, she knocks on the door like, Hanako-san, come out to play. And you know what, this part really startled me, because obviously I was like, yeah, who's going to even say, like, this is not that type of a show, this is not a ghost show or whatever, it's a vampire show, so obviously nothing's going to happen. So suddenly Mahiru kind of using that voice to startle her actually got me as well, because I was not expecting something like that. I was like, what the hell, what was that about? And then I realized it was Mahiru. Oh boy. Now after that, we come to the next one, which is the music room one, the piano. Okay, now the piano that plays on its own. School mystery number 3 is, there you go, the staircase that sometimes has one step too far, too many, too few. The 13th stair, or whatever they call it, the one that takes you to another dimension. Like, I think they talk about how, when you count it, you count one extra or something like that. Now, the fourth one is the anatomical model that starts dancing. I've heard of some other versions of this as well. There's another one where they say how the anatomical model tries to find its missing organs, or like some other, like like some kind of urban legend or rumor where people's organs are missing, and the organs that in the anatomical model are the real ones, something like that. These type of different versions are also there. Okay, the fifth one, this one I did not know. This one's a new one. The sound of a ball bouncing in the empty gymnasium. Okay. The sixth one, the pool where something pulls your feet deeper. I feel like I've heard this one, but I've forgotten. Okay. The mirror that doesn't show human reflections. This is another one. I've heard a different version of this where they kind of take you to another dimension if you look at the mirror or something like that. And oh, you know what? This kind of shows how Ko is still not a vampire, because if he was a vampire, he wouldn't actually show any reflection. Okay, the eighth one, the Ninomiya Kinjiro statue that walks on its own. Oh, I think I've heard this one as well, kind of. But they're like, oh, we don't have any Ninokin statue at all. And this is the eighth one, and he's like, it's like the eighth one. We're supposed to be seven. But anyways, they kind of go to the roof, and they talk about another rumor where a teacher went missing, and they talk about how at the night in the same class, like the teacher comes in, something like that type of an urban legend. And Mavi's like, oh, that's kind of scary. And they're like, but what are you saying? And he's like, why don't you feel excited, because this is related to our school only, or exceptional. And they're just not really thinking that much about it. And I was like, oh my god, he brought that up, that means something like that is going to happen here. Obviously, that's how anime goes. So we go to the class and actually find someone, and I was like, all right, so this guy is probably a vampire. So obviously it looks like it kind of, now there could have been a different scenario here where it was just as if the whole show could have trolled us, where it would be like the guy would be like, oh, I'm just a teacher here, I just came here to find out something or something like that, and we'd be like, haha, that's kind of funny, they got us. But it was not something like that. This was a genuine vampire, where he is he's come to the school probably for the final time to see to see the school, but did not realize that the students would be here. And that's what kind of takes him to the edge, because he has been keeping himself not drinking blood up until this 10 years. So suddenly seeing them, he went crazy, and he's like, why are you here? I was keeping myself, I was restraining myself, I cannot do it now. And he jumps on Akira, and is trying to bite her, obviously. And Ko obviously kind of gets a shock, because obviously he has seen a lot of vampires like this before, and he gets a shock. He's kind of standing. Mahiro's trying to take that guy off, but he cannot. But finally Ko kind of snaps out of it, and he's thinking why is a vampire here, why is he doing like this? He doesn't look like the normal beautiful vampires. He's kind of haggard and very that kind of a thing. And he's thinking of all of that, and finally he snaps out, takes the chair, and kind of just shoves it on him. And yeah, and they're kind of standing over there, and this guy, he's saying why are you here at this hour? Hurry and run away. And I'm like, yeah, why are you guys standing here? Just run. But obviously before anything happens, Anko comes in. The atmosphere kind of goes more dramatic again, and yeah, Anko is like, and here obviously we can feel that something is up with this girl. She knows about the existence of vampires and all of that. She's not any private detective, and she comes here, and she's like, oh, what are you guys doing here? But then she's like, before that, let's take care of this person. And she kind of opens her nape, and obviously seeing that, he goes and takes a bite of her. Now here, for a moment I thought she had something in her blood or something, which is why he suddenly started coughing and throwing up blood, and he's like, oh, what the hell is this? Like, this is not as nice as I feel it would have been. So I thought there's something in her blood, but probably not. She kind of explains it like he has not drunk blood in like 10 years after becoming vampire. That is probably the reason why, you know, after 10 years, after restraining himself, now that he suddenly got blood in his system, he's not able to, like he's not able to, like, like he's not liking it, and it's not suiting him. That's why he's kind of throwing up. And that's probably what's happening. Like, like if you're like in a very dark place for like a long time and suddenly come out into the light, your eyes kind of get startled. That type of a situation, I feel like. And she talks about like, oh, do you guys know about vampires? And the guy asks her like, why does it taste so bad? And she talks about like, how he has not eaten properly this 10 years, and like he has been restraining himself from sipping any blood for 10 years, and came to this like place finally in this night, because this was probably the end. He knew this would be the ending day for him. He would probably die. That's why he just came here for the last time, to see the school that he's like taught in again, and for the final time. And obviously he was not expecting someone else to be here, especially students, and seeing them, he kind of lost control. And Ko is like, what's going on? Like, if he's a vampire, why did he not consume blood? Now here Anko says like, oh, I think you are not understanding the problem here. Why would anyone even want to become a vampire? Now this is the thing, like I feel like this is a very interesting statement, which not only talks about how Ko fantasizes like about vampires, and like kind of looks up to them or whatever, wants to become a vampire, that type of thing. I feel like this is something that every one of us does, like even us audiences. There's this kind of a thing where people are like in vampire shows, and everyone is like, oh, like kind of looks forward to the main character or whatever to become a vampire, and them getting more stronger, this and that. Like people kind of, I don't know, like kind of look at becoming a vampire as like a nice thing. However, this girl brings in a counter argument where she says like, why would ever someone want to become a vampire? You won't be able to get out in the sun, you'll have to take blood, this and that. People will look at you as if you're a monster if they realize that you're a vampire. And obviously there's a lot of other problems that's going to come with it, like that type of thing. And the person themselves will not be happy about it, like constantly taking blood from someone, biting them, looking at them as if they're a monster, that type of thing. So this whole like thing about, I don't know, like kind of what do you call it, this type of a thing where people fantasize like about becoming a vampire, and kind of look at it as if it's something really good. Not only Ko, but us normal people who watches these type of shows as well, that in itself is a flawed logic, because we only look at the stuff which seems cool. There's a lot of downsides to it which we never try to see. Like, yeah, obviously I'm pretty sure everyone, most of the people who watches vampire shows, they're always excited to see someone like becoming a vampire, the main character becoming a vampire, getting stronger, getting more like stuff. But they never look at the other side, and the shows themselves also don't show us the bad side of becoming a vampire, what it could do to someone, the stress and everything, like that it could make on someone, all that stuff. We always like kind of romanticize the fact that, oh, this is a vampire. But in reality, if that actually happens, becoming a vampire is, no, it brings in a lot of problems, and the person themselves will probably become like this. They themselves might be disgusted about the fact that, oh, I need blood to survive. This romanticizing of vampires in itself is something that we share, us audience, most of us audience share with Ko. While this girl, Anko, actually brings out the other point. She's like, why would ever anyone want to become a vampire? This is a very interesting thing where Ko realizes that, yeah, like not everything is sunshine and rainbows about this. I'm romanticizing becoming a vampire, the fact being becoming a vampire, but it's not all that happy and everything. That's probably why Nazuna as well doesn't, like, like, doesn't want to increase her kin. That's probably why, because she definitely knows that this might happen. And yeah, like Anko says, you don't know about anything about vampires. Oh, and she also talks to that guy and talks about how she also probably got tricked, and he says like, oh, I liked her or something like that. He says, where is it? Yeah, he says, that's right, I was tricked. God damn, so thunderstorm is coming. He's like, oh, I was tricked, this and that, and like, he's kind of crying and breaking down. I can't blame him, obviously, because if you suddenly realize that the person you like is actually a vampire, and since she took blood out of you, you have become a vampire as well, and now you have to take blood, and you cannot go outside in the sun, all that stuff, obviously it will do something to you. And I'm pretty sure he was a type of person who probably despised the fact that you have to take blood from someone, you know and the urge to suck blood. He despised it, most probably. That's why he has actually not fed after becoming a vampire for 10 years. So he's crying and everything, and Ko is actually getting to see the other side of the perspective. Him romanticizing becoming a vampire, he's realizing that there's another part to it, which is really interesting. Now, not only that, after that we see Anko kind of give like a ring. I don't know what the hell that ring was. Was it silver? I don't know. I think, like, like usually, like, vampires and mythical creatures like this, werewolves and all, they don't like silver. So is this what happened here? He kind of gave her like a ring, and he's like kind of like, oh, what is this? Like, I cannot look at it. And he grasps his hand, and he's like, hold this. You won't become a monster. I'll let you die as a human. And I'm guessing the silver ring or whatever, if it was silver, I'm not sure, probably stopped him from turning into a complete monster before he died. So I'm guessing she basically stopped him from turning into a complete monster by using that ring, so that when his end will come, he can end as a human. He can die as a human. And it like in his morning, the light hits him and he kind of disappears. Now, this is where the question comes up. My question is, and I guess, like, it's probably because he has not fed for this amount of time that he completely disappeared in the sunlight, and he, like, Anko herself says that he would have died either way today. So probably because of that, sunlight actually affected him this much. I think vampires who actually feed on blood and regularly, they're probably not this much affected by sunlight. Obviously they don't like sunlight at all, I'm pretty sure about it, but they won't disappear if they get hit by sunlight. This is just a guess for me. I don't know, we'll see. I'm sure they'll let us know as we go on. But either way, she talks about how this is the same teacher, and she explains how, she's a private detective, Anko Ogitsu, and sometimes missing people missing and all of that, all these cases comes in, and sometimes they're related to vampire, and she also knows about vampire. That is the reason why. And now obviously Ko kind of like, says like, oh, why did you kill him? He would have died either way. Now this is one thing I would have to disagree with Ko. I think what Anko did here was correct, because he himself wanted to not become a vampire. If he wanted to become a vampire, then I would have also said like, oh, Anko did something wrong. But his own choice was not to become a vampire, and that's why he kept himself from feeding any blood. So at his end, we should at least respect it and let him die as a human, just like he wanted. So I'm completely disagreeing with Ko here, and I completely agree with Anko here, and I think what she did here was absolutely correct. Like I said, if the situation was something else, if he said something like, oh, I like becoming a vampire, I love being a vampire, and this, like, Anko killed him as a human, I would have probably said like, oh, that was not okay, or something like that, because his wish would be to die as a vampire, but he died as a human. But that's not the case here. This guy actually restrained himself from becoming a vampire and kind of giving into the urges. He wanted to be a human, and that's something that we should respect. And in the end, let him die as a human, just like he wanted. If he just let him die as a normal monster, that would have been disrespecting his wishes. and his like that type of a thing. So I disagree with Go here. I completely agree with Anko here. Anko kind of says the same thing. She's like, yeah, like you're gonna disregard all of that. He never let him become a monster up until now, and you're gonna disregard all of that and not let him die as a human. And then in the end, she says like, Ryamurukun, you know nothing about vampires. I'm sorry, but I have no intention to let you achieve your idiotic dream. Now, this is the part where I have a question. Does she know about Yamuri's dream of becoming a vampire? I feel like it indicates that, but I don't know. But anyways, she says like vampires come in all kinds. So if you guys are troubled about something, here's my card. Contact me. Bye-bye. And in the end, Go kind of thinks about how he doesn't know anything about vampires still. Like I said, everything has two sides, Go kind of only has seen a vampire in a good light up until now. All the vampires are good and all of that. I'm pretty sure there's definitely vampires who have bad intentions. And there's also people who don't like becoming a vampire, that type of a situation. So, like I said, he has been romanticizing the fact that I'm going to become a vampire up until now without looking at the other side. And this is the section where he actually gets hit with the reality, where he realizes that, oh, everything's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's different types of people, different types of vampire, they have different types of intention, and there's also a different types of people who would react in a different way if they become a vampire, just like this guy, who despises the fact that she became a vampire and that he had to take in blood. So he ended up choosing that he won't eat, he won't feed, and then he'll die. That thing. So yeah, true. He doesn't know anything about vampires still. He's learning, and I'm pretty sure he'll learn the good and the bad of everything. But yeah, so that's where it ends. And a really good episode. We get to see a certain person who might become a threat to vampires in the future, this girl. So yeah, I feel like this is like she's probably going to be like a mini enemy or something like that. I don't know. She doesn't seem like the main antagonist or whatever, but she can become an antagonist. I'm not so sure about it. But for now, yeah, we can see like this we came in contact with someone who might become a threat to vampires. This is the first time we see something like this in this show, so that's kind of an interesting development. Either way, that was it. This was my reaction to Call of the Night episode number 11. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find how many episodes this has. 13, 2 more episodes. All right, so yeah, there you go. So 2 more episodes left, 12 and 13, 2 more weeks. Let's see what happens. So see you guys next week with another episode of Call of the Night. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.